Hey everyone, welcome back to the CakeMen Entertainment. Today we will begin a series of podcasts on Star Wars' latest animated series, The Bad Batch. This show has been highly anticipated ever since the first appearance of them in Season 7 of the Clone Wars. I can tell you, I was extremely pumped to see this animated show, as Clone Wars is my most favorite show of all time, and this was a sequel, some could say, to it. To start the episode, we see the iconic red Clone Wars logo transition into the Bad Batch logo. The episode is labelled Aftermath, of course referencing the aftermath of Order 66 and the events of the Revenge of the Sith. In the crawl of the episode, the narrator mentions the events of Season 7 Clone Wars. We get to see a glimpse of Anakin and Obi-Wan saving Palpatine from Grievous, and we get to see that insane Grievous model again. This episode goes directly into the action with us meeting Jedi Master Depa Billaba and her Padawan Caleb Dune, who we know of course as Kanan Jarrus in Rebels. We then see the Bad Batch enter and steal the show, wiping out an entire battalion of droids, which the regular clones were struggling with. Then we see what every Star Wars fan dreads, Order 66, unfolding this time from a different angle. Just as he explained it in Rebels, we see Caleb's master Depa getting executed by the clones while he is running away, which did sadden me as any Order 66 scene does. Let me just say, the animation has been stepped up even further. It honestly feels like a movie. Absolutely crazy what they were doing with the animation. Things like the snow outline on the droids, the puff of snow as they walk across it, the lightsaber lighting up in the snow, and more as we go through the show. Also, the viewers are pointed to the fact that Order 66 didn't affect the Bad Batch, but Caleb's trust is completely perished after seeing his master die, so he believes the Bad Batch have also turned. We then have Hunter and Crosshair tracking down Caleb. They find him, then Crosshair shoots him straight up, to which Hunter is shocked and says, "What are you doing?" As Hunter goes forward to find Caleb, we hear a line we've heard many a time before.
Good soldiers follow orders.
This gives us the indication that Crosshair's inhibitor chip has worked to a certain degree. Tech also seems to be very intuitive, as he even mentions that the Clone Wars is going to end soon, and intercepts Order 66 being relayed to all the regs and what that order is. Kanan is visibly extremely conflicted and confused. He knocks out Crosshair, followed by him and Hunter in a standoff, where Hunter explains that he himself has no idea what's happening. Hunter wants to help Caleb, and this is the first of a reoccurring theme for Hunter, as he seems to have a soft spot for children. Caleb escapes, but as Crosshair and the regs enter the scene, Hunter tells them that he killed Caleb, hinting at his want for the kid to survive and escape, and as we all know, he does. Another beautiful shot with a waterfall and a divide, which symbols the exit of the Jedi, with Order 66, with Kanan going into hiding, and the beginning of the Empire with the clones on the other side. We transition into the Bad Batch returning home to Kamino, where we get our first look at what look like Gen 1 TIE fighters, which is a cool Easter egg. As they enter the platform, Hunter notices many shock troopers roaming about, and the orderly nature of the clones, with them all lined up, silent, the lack of differentiation between the regs, heightens the fact that the Empire has taken over. This isn't the Clone Wars, where every clone has a certain individuality to them. They have different haircuts, different voices. Now they're all one and the same, and are being portrayed that way. They are informed by a reg that the war is over. Then we see a passing body with a cloth over it, from which a lightsaber falls from the hand. Now this Jedi is quite clearly a woman, but her origins are unknown, and I believe that she isn't there to be identified, but there is a symbol of the Jedi's fate from Order 66. The Bad Batch are acclimatizing to this newly founded empire, and most of them are disturbed by the fact that the regs turned on their Jedi Masters. Tech gives us a rundown on why the Order didn't work on any of them, including Echo, which is pretty cool. We then hear Palpatine's direct speech from the Revenge of the Sith, transitioning into a safe and secure society. Now we meet Omega, who is fond of the Bad Batch, and as the episode goes on, we see Hunter has a father sort of figure towards her. More on her later. We get to see a cool entrance of Admiral Tarkin with the Coruscant guards and some smoke. Then we see something we haven't seen before, the division between the Kaminoans and Palpatine, in particular about the cost of clones versus conscription soldiers, i.e. stormtroopers. We then have a classic canteen brawl between the Bad Batch and the Regs, and an extremely noticeable thing is that all the clones look exactly the same now without their masks on. They all have the same haircut, same facial expressions, even in their voices. D. Bradley Baker this time does an extremely important job of showing all the clones being like robots once again, in a sense, without any individuality under the Empire. Then we have an awesome cameo from AZ, the legend who helped Fives uncover the inhibitor chips. We then get to see the training grounds, a callback to the Domino Squad episode so long ago, although it seems to have been upgraded, whether that be due to the animation or just it has been. Of course, the Bad Batch destroys the training module, but Tarkin decides to up the stakes by using what look like early version Dark Troopers with live rounds. The Bad Batch are up to the challenge, as Tech reprograms one of the droids to fight the rest of them. Then we get an awesome conclusion to the fight, with Crosshair shooting a knife to kill the final droid. Tarkin then sends them off to a deploy and execute mission to Onderon. We get another father and daughter moment between Hunter and Omega, where she wants to come with them, which is an interesting aspect to see. Hunter definitely has an affection towards kids, starting with Caleb, now Omega. On the mission, they find our old friend Saw Gerrera with some Republic survivors, and this is where the Bad Batch realizes that the Republic and the Empire aren't synonymous with each other. The Empire represents a darker time with no mercy towards the elderly and children. Tarkin finds out about their betrayal from a probe droid and follows suit, charging them with treason and set execution, but he inadvertently puts them right where they want to be, with Omega. Omega has an odd moment with Crosshair, like she knows his programming is working, she knows he can't help betraying them, but she still tells him not to, which indicates her possibly having force abilities or just good intuition. She helps them escape, but not without Tarkin making Crosshair his asset, with his programming being intensified. The final scene in this 70-minute epic is a standoff between the Regs with Crosshair against the Bad Batch. We have an awesome Ori entrance of the new Crosshair with his new suit and tingly background music playing. The lighting in the background, the shadows over their faces, and this whole scene is just jaw-dropping, as well as the music. Crosshair gets a shot on Wrecker, but before he can take another one, Omega shoots the gun out of his hand with surprising accuracy, hinting again at her possible force abilities or just mixture of multiple enhanced clone characteristics. We see Nala Se help them escape, as she truly does adore what could be her own creation in Omega. This episode ends with them flying off at light speed towards Sector J19, where many have speculated Cutler Quain will be, the clone deserter from Clone Wars, which you may know, or maybe even Captain Rex. Either way, I can't wait. I'm extremely pumped to see what they have in store for us. It was an amazing start to the series with A-class animation, out-of-this-world voice talent from D. Bradley Baker, as well as brilliant linking with Rebels, and lastly a captivating story which truly did feel like a movie. I give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. Sensational start to the series. Let me know in the comments below if you liked it as much as I did, who you think is on J19, and what you think Omega really is, and what her role will be in this series. Until next time, CakeMen out.